Get accepted by the best. At getaccepted.org.
I'm Holly Asposto, the owner of Selective College Acceptance Counseling and the website getaccepted.org. I'm going to talk to you today about 8 general guidelines for writing any college essay. So I call them compelling college essays persuade. And when I say persuade, I'm talking about prompt, exemplify, reader, style, unique, active, descriptive, and edited. So the first thing that you're going to do when you approach a college essay is you're going to look at the prompt. Obviously, and sometimes you're going to choose one. In other cases, you aren't going to have a choice, and you're just going to have to think about an answer to that question. So you want to think about the prompt and what are they really asking? Are they asking you to tell about a time when you grew or changed or matured? Sometimes even, the more selective colleges will ask you about the last good book you read. Well, why are they asking you that? They want to know, number 1, do you read? Number 2, what kinds of things do you like to read? And number 3, whether or not you can talk intelligently about literature. So break the question down a little bit and just try to brainstorm what is it that they're getting at. What do they really want to know about you through this prompt? And then when I say exemplify, you want to think about an example or a time when you did or experienced the phenomenon that the question is asking about. So for example, let's say it's a why this college question. Why are you choosing to apply to this college? You want to give a specific example from the tour that you went to, or the admissions interview that you had, or a local alumni that you know that told you something about the college. But you want to give a specific example. You've maybe heard other people say show and don't tell. That's what I mean by exemplify. And then for the reader, you always want to remember the fact that college admissions reps are on average 28 years old. The majority of them are recent college graduates from the college that you're applying to. And they spend about 10 minutes on every application. So think about yourself, and by the way, they read on average 1,500 to 2,500 applications every year. So put yourself in that position. What is it that you want? You do not want to be bored. You don't want to read an essay that sounds like every other essay that you just read. You want to be captivated. You want to be interested. You want something unexpected or exciting, maybe even a little bit funny. So put yourself in that position. Think about what everyone else is going to say, how everyone else is going to answer that question, and try to come up with an original response. Then you want to think about the style of your essay. When you're thinking about the style, are you going to be serious or funny? Are you going to be poignant and heartfelt and try to elicit an emotional response? Or are you going to be more cold and matter of fact? But you want the style to really accurately represent your personality. So if you're not a funny person, then don't try to be funny on your essay, because it's not true to who you are. Then again, unique. And again, that just goes to the point of trying to not only think of a story that no one else will tell, but to go to an interesting word choice. Try not to use cliches, whatever turns of phrases, and then suddenly I remembered, that kind of thing. Think a little bit about your word choices. Try to do something unexpected. If you have to use a thesaurus to use some different words than you would normally use to express yourself, go ahead and do that. Just make sure that you do understand what that new word means and that it does fit with your unique voice. Of course, you want to write in the active voice, not the passive voice. You want to use active verbs, not state of being verbs. So you want to say, you led, you managed, you changed, you challenged, not that you were the leader or you were challenged by the event, which is in the passive voice. You want to be descriptive. My key for making sure that your writing is descriptive is to use proper nouns versus common nouns. What do I mean by that? If you were watching TV when you discovered what you want to do with your life, which sometimes happens, you see a show, and it makes you realize that, oh wow, that's what I want to be doing. Instead of saying, one afternoon when I was sitting on the couch watching TV, you say, that afternoon in front of my family's Samsung, whatever the model is, was one that changed my life. So proper noun is the actual name of something, where a common noun is the class. So you can have a car, or you can have a Volvo, or a Mercedes, or a Saturn, if they even make those anymore. But doesn't that change what you think? When you think of someone who drives a Mercedes, you have a different picture in your head than when you think of someone who drives a Volvo. And so do college admissions reps. So use those proper nouns. It'll make your writing come to life. And then the last thing, of course, you're going to edit your work. You're going to make sure that it is free from most errors in grammar, of course, spelling and punctuation. But I also want to caution you to not allow anyone to edit your voice out of your work. If you're using a turn of phrase that is non-standard English, but it really is something that you say, put it in quotes, and then you can say whatever you want. In some cases, when I am evaluating college essays, I'll leave a small grammatical error because in order to fix it, you have to say something that sounds weird. And so, you know, they're not grading your application. As long as your mistakes don't distract your reader and make it so that they can't understand what you're saying, they're probably not going to notice. So you can find more information about the Persuade framework in my book, Distinguish Yourself on the Common App. You can find it on Kindle, Nook, iTunes. Put in the search term Common App or the title, Distinguish Yourself on the Common App. And of course you can find a link to purchase on my website, getaccepted.org. Also you'll find there an opportunity to purchase a professional review of your common application and your essays. And you can find pricing and details on that on my website. Again, I wish you the best of luck with your college essays. And remember, the important thing with your essays is to make sure that it sounds like you and that it accurately reflects who you are. And if that is the case, you can never go wrong. Have a great day.